Elizabeth, you have stated that you looked more into what particular one? Was it Banksocial or was it like something else from Hedera lately? What did you gather?
Yeah, Banksocial. So I just checked it out. Y'all, it's really cool. It's really awesome. And I actually learned a lot about it from your videos. And I went onto their YouTube as well. And I saw what they have to offer. And that's why I was excited to come tonight too, because I know you've been covering it. And I know I'm going to have some more questions about it. So yeah, Banksocial, y'all, I'm definitely keeping an eye on that one because and Hedera and Banksocial. You can't go wrong with Hedera, in my opinion. I just love Hedera. Period. Anybody that has any dealings with Hedera, I'm gonna look at. And so for Banksocial to just pop up on the radar, and then you see the price increase, it was like, what's going on? What happened? What is this? What is Banksocial? Pull it up, and you had said something about it before, and so I was like, okay, there's something going on with this, but it was I saw they're working with credit unions. Can you tell me more about that? Like, that is cool. That's where we need this mass
It's
adoption. It's going to
massive.
help.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to get our money. How else are you going to get your money in crypto for the bull run? Where else are you going to get it? I'm curious about this. I want to know it all. Tell me the tea.
Let's go ahead and start off with some Banksocial.
Okay.
Space Chick here is familiar with it. So I want to share some key things that I recently kind of pulled up myself. And with that said, I want to show you guys this little intro to the Banksocial platform. This is only 2 minutes and 10 seconds, but it does a very beautiful job of just giving you like the quick gist, and then we'll give you some of that nitty gritty here in a bit. But it actually comes from Banksocial, like for real. They have 1.24K subscribers, but the point is, it just gets right to it. So let's go ahead and share this on the screen, and then we'll share some more research that I recently gathered that I feel is really important. Thank you guys for being here. Please smash that like. Here it is, introducing the Banksocial platform. Here we go.
We are thrilled to bring the Web3 Industries a financial institution made specifically for your needs. Introducing proposed Defi Federal Credit Union, the first digital native self-custody credit union powered by distributed ledger technology and the ethos of credit unions and DAOs. Based in Texas and powered by Banksocial, the proposed Defi FCU has a mission to serve the Web3 community and provide access to financial services that have been difficult for them to obtain in the past. Built with a backbone of not-for-profit financial cooperatives, we're creating tools that empower open banking worldwide. Fair access for all. The Banksocial app is the heart of Defi Credit Union's self-sovereign open banking for all model. All of our banking products come together here to give you self-custody control of your money and digital assets. Your assets have never been in better hands. Your hands. Banksocial Verified is where trust and security meet. Our Know Your Customer verification gives you confidence in zero-trust self-custody environments. Behind the scenes, our real-time payment solution allows payments using both standard payment rails and our stablecoin RUSD on the Hedera ledger, swift and secure fund transfers. Rebank yourself. Even experts have concerns about seed phrase security. Banksocial Secura Decentralized Recovery is the evolution of self-custody key management and protection. Your key is divided into pieces and mathematically protected at our trusted partner credit unions. No one but you ever has your keys. Your keys, your crypto, your peace of mind. Defi Credit Union. Take control of your financial future. For the first time ever, we're creating true open systems. Finance without fences for everyone in the world.
It's a very good video. It's very thorough. It just jams everything in there. But I have a question, Max. I have a question. In the video towards the end, it does talk about like the seed phrases and whatnot, right? But they have a copy of it. And I mean, it's good for mass adoption because it's hard about the seed phrases and the banking and all of that. So I know that's the number one argument they probably get all the time. What is your opinion about that? Is that really DeFi or not? What's your opinion about it?
A lot of people are going to say that it's not true DeFi because that seems like it's centralization. And I would kind of agree with them in that regard. My thing is, you got to keep in mind the ties to Hedera. Hedera has recently came out with that update, basically stating that we're teaming up with Algorand for what is called a DREC alliance. It's decentralized. I know that sounds crazy. Decentralized seed recovery, right? And moving forward, I look at it's like this. It's kind of like the concept of, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I've heard people from our community, shout out to like OG Crypto. There might be other people here as we speak who don't like the idea. They're like, well, if they have the power to do that, right, to restore it, they have the power to take it away at the same time. I get that. But at the same time, listen, guys, this is all about what? Creating the internet of value, as Gilbert Verdian has mentioned. He has also mentioned the internet of trust. So there is that trust layer. I mean, Dr. Lehman Baird does not strike me as the type of guy who wants to steal everything. But some people will point out, well, it's not about him. It's like you can have like some sinister people, that could be like Do Kwons and whatnot. I get that. But at the same time, there's things that have already been put into, the hash graph consensus, to combat against some of these things. It's not just one person has a kill switch to rug everybody, so there is the whole thing with trust, but I get where you're coming from. And for my own personal opinion, that's how I feel about it. Like, it's kind of like a catch-22. You just damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know what I mean? So
yeah. And I get it. Because somebody like, my family members, it would be easier for them to get that concept. Like, oh, okay, well, I feel safer with that because that's how everyone's conditioned. But I mean, people complain about Hedera's governing council too. Like, oh, well, you got Google and IBM and all them in there. It's like, how is that, really crypto? How is that DeFi? How is that anything? Well, it is. But so that makes sense to me. It makes sense. It's just like an oxymoron or something. Like,
Oh, of course. I mean, especially when you see some of these guys, they go over to Davos and they're hanging out, with the World Economic Forum, and and then who's the head guy? Mr. Klaus Schwab. You will own nothing and you'll be happy in this space shit. It's like, really? You will eat bugs for the rest of your life. I'm gonna go away soon. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. No, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're gonna take my crypto. You're gonna have me go away. I mean, you gotta cancel me out. Like, what's going on here? Anyway, it's just crazy stuff. But anyway, we're gonna show you guys another part of this real quick. That was a nice little intro. Obviously, I want to show you guys this, okay? Because we're gonna talk about obviously Saucer Swap here in a bit. And I don't know if I shared this with you guys a week or two ago, but here's what's worth paying attention to. We'll come back into the frame. So when we get further into this discussion, the research tonight, always pay attention to previous bull markets, the cycles, and so on. But in particular, like what's been huge for some of you guys, Elon Musk, Mike Cornwell, Tim Shea, whoever else is part of this community that's into BSL. You have averaged a 3x. At the height of what you saw was like an 8x. You would have been lucky to catch that, but in reality, you did at least a 3x. Nobody's complaining about that. But you ever wonder why this thing has just boomed like crazy? Is it because of the whole thing of, being able to have that BNB option with the pairing? Yeah, that helped. We did see a rise, but with the significant rise, I'm going to share with you what exactly that was. And I came to the conclusion with the research that basically speaking, it is this right here. It's Saucer Swap. How do we know that? Well, when things started really blasting off, you saw the volume on Saucer Swap go up tremendously. Why? Well, before it was just strictly like Uniswap, this other one called Buybox, which I'm not familiar with. But you want to talk about added liquidity and incentivizing and creating all sorts of cool things? Yes. But most importantly is this right here. It's the pairing of HBAR with BSL. To be able to take your HBAR Go to a platform that you're already familiar with, right? That feels more like Uniswap, and be able to swap that for some BSL. That's game changer. But how is it truly game changer? Well, let's take you to that. This is actually from the report, straight from Banksocial. It says BSL is now officially default listed on Saucer Swap Labs after passing the Saucer Swap DAO vote. I think I touched briefly on this maybe a week or two ago. But they had this new listing alert, was on January 30th. And like I said, Saucer Swap DAO has voted in favor of BSL to be promoted to the default list on Saucer Swap. Say what you want. Hedera does stand out when it comes to low transaction fees, some of the lowest ones out there. And to combine this with a, DeFi platform or a DEX, okay, decentralized exchange, people will realize, look, I don't want to do all these crazy transactions on Uniswap. I don't want to have to use a bunch of Ethereum gas fees and get charged maybe 100, 200, like me, up to $350 last bull run just for a small bag of meme tokens. But that happened. So you have this, and I feel as though that this is the enabler. We're going to get more into this in just a bit. Have you heard of this yourself, the whole thing of Saucer Swap, Elizabeth?
I have. Yeah, definitely. And I've seen a little bit of it. It looks very user friendly as well. So I think it's something that could catch on.
Absolutely. And we have, of course, some Saucer Swap research for you guys tonight, but this is more of the Banksocial side of things. But again, guys, all things Hedera. There are big things happening in regards to Hedera and its ecosystem. Getting more into this, let's also show you this as well. It says, in case you've been under a rock, we've released the overhauled Banksocial 2.0. It's awesome. Download it, try it today. It says get the wallet. And it takes you to this particular link. And here it is. You go to getthewallet.com, and it gives you an idea of what that actually looks like from a Banksocial. And basically, you get on the App Store, you get on Google Play, and so on. But what I want to share with you guys is a little bit more about this, because I think it's, in my opinion, it is a big deal. I mean, why not point out some of these specific things, to say the least, right? So getting into this, check this out for a second. Let me go back. Sorry about that. Kind of go too far forward sometimes. So when you go to Banksocial, they've had a lot of recent updates, a lot of emphasis on the specific app, so on and so forth. But what you will see is the consistent thing being mentioned in regards to Banksocial and it being like a credit union, And so I decided to research this just like a tad bit more. And here's something I want to share with you guys. So the bottom line is this. Banksocial does share some characteristics, right, with traditional credit unions. But the thing is, how so? Well, there's some key differences. So for one, back to what Elizabeth was talking about, is Hedera really decentralized? Well, with Banksocial, there is a sense of decentralization. So for one, unlike traditional credit unions, which operate centrally speaking, Banksocial leverages blockchain tech to create a decentralized system. Now, in the chart, you've consistently seen this. And if you get more into Banksocial, especially when it comes to trying to create provide liquidity or do staking and selecting validators, you will see some specific platforms like Google, right? That makes sense because Google's part of the Hedera Governing Council, but there's some other big institutions that are part of that mix. This means no single entity controls the platform. It does reduce potential risk, and it does promote transparency. Now, when we talk about global adoption, just hear me out on this for a second. There is a global goal of a global reach. I know it sounds like a crazy thing, but the traditional credit unions typically operate within a specific means of geographic regions. Banksocial itself, by virtue of being quote unquote decentralized, does have the potential to reach these users globally, overcoming geographic limitations. Say what you want, if you look more into HBAR, I think there's even HBAR Bully's doing a really good job interviewing some of these guys, or like the CEOs and so on. But Hedera is in competition with Stellar, and they are trying to reach also what they call the unbanked. Banksocial being a credit union, that's like one of their premier, I hate to say, like low cap market gem projects or companies that already has these connections, is huge. And the other thing I want to get into is the financial services that Banksocial provides, other than just the typical label of a credit union. Banksocial offers a wide range of financial services than traditional credit unions, including self-custody, crypto exchange, asset-backed lending. And in my opinion, this also allows users like you, me, Elizabeth, Tim Shays, your Cool Cat Cryptos, and so on to engage in various financial activities within a single platform, keeping it all kind of like contained where you don't have to go to so many third parties here, there, and everywhere. Now, there is some governance. I just want to touch bases on a bit. I know I'm doing a lot of talking. I apologize. But the governance, when I did more research about this, I came to the conclusion that traditional credit unions, for the most part, are managed by a board of directors. That is very true. Banksocial, on the other hand, utilizes a decentralized autonomous organization, aka DAOs, and that particular model. Now, the BSL token itself and its utility, listen to this. This token allows holders to govern the platform through voting on proposals, and we've seen this with other platforms, but it does promote community participation, of course, decision making. Back to the whole thing about the significance of the utility of the token, because everybody's asking that. BSL's utility serves as the platform's native utility token. Users can stake BSL to earn rewards, participate in governance voting, and access exclusive features. Finally, what about the potential value appreciation of Banksocial? Because it's been blasting off. As within any crypto token, BSL's true value is subject to market fluctuations. Very true. However, its utility within the Banksocial ecosystem and potential future growth of the platform could lead to dramatic value appreciation because of what they're connected to. How do we know this? I challenge every single one of you guys to download the Banksocial app, like Mr. Mike Cornwall did. And the reason why you want to do that is because you will see the validators listed. And what kind of validators do we have listed there? Your Googles and some other big, huge companies. If we talk about utility in motion, my God, check out that list. And with that said, what the heck do you think about all that, Elizabeth?
Oh my goodness. I wanted to do it right now. But I was listening. I want to download it right now. I tell you one thing, like this is going to change everything. We need something like this, and it's going to help with mass adoption, and that's what we need. That's what we've been waiting for. The ETFs, of course, but mass adoption. That's what we have to have. And if that's what this brings, hey, let's go. I'm on board.
That's the way I look at it. I mean, it's opportunities. I mean, I've seen so many projects that just wish to have this type of connection. I've also seen interviews lately of Dr. Lehman Baird. You know, the some of these guys say he looks like an alien. He talks funny, and but he's a master scientist, right? And this guy, to hear him like kind of like endorse Banksocial, that's what did it for me. I was like, I got to get into Banksocial. You know, this whole thing of what if, and they're just retweeted on Hedera. No. They are well connected. And I was like, man, like this is what we're talking about, trying to find these gems. This is a true gem, in my opinion.
I think anything that is on like the radar with Hedera in general is something that everybody should look at. I think it should, anything they touch, because of their governing council members, who they have, you can have product, you can have, everything, but it just, you can copy somebody told me this, a dev told me this, you can copy code, or somebody else can copy my code, but they can't copy who my partners are, who I'm networking with. They can't copy that. And I was like, wow, that says something. So that, because I asked her, what's going to help the longevity of your project too? And that's what she said. I was like, well, we can't really argue that. Kind of can't really argue that. And it's true. I just do. I think that this right here is something special. And I'm so glad we're covering it tonight. Yes. Tell me more, Max. Tell me more.
Well, actually, that's it for tonight. Believe it or not, I was kind of leaving people with that kind of like,
What?
like fireworks. You get to the grand
That's
finale.
it?
Well, as
Yeah.
far as the BSL segment, we got some saucer swap. There's a lot about saucer swap we're going to
Okay.
get into, but I just love how like we mentioned what's creating the most amount of volume for BSL. It's basically the saucer swap platform. It's like dexes are a real thing, and especially if you have something that's solid. And there's some nitty gritty I'm gonna get into in regards to what makes saucer swap stand out. But guys, you're going to love the outline of what we have tonight. We're going to show you some things from the past in regards to like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, which are, DEXs, decentralized exchanges. We're going to compare it with some of the centralized ones, right? But it's exchange tokens. Do exchange tokens have significant opportunity for you, to create value and, go to the moon, as the saying goes, when it comes to this next bull market? I think so. And I'm going to show you an outline that's going to break it down from beginning to end of how I feel as though, like, guys, I'm being honest, this is a real huge opportunity.